Well, welcome back, everybody. It's Thursday. It's Heroes and Hooligans, and I am not Mr. Freaking World, but I will be facilitating the chaos behind the scenes this evening as our party members spend some time. I think Alvira wants to take everybody to the beach outside the lighthouse so we could relax a little bit while we're planning ahead. Because why would we be on an island with a beach and a lighthouse and not take freaking advantage of it if we're sitting at this lighthouse anyway? I'm just saying, we work hard. We should play hard too. I think that's fair. Just saying. Plus, how could we plan an extensive shopping trip if we don't spend a day on the beach doing it? I mean, I think that's fair. But if somebody wants to do a recap from last week of what got us to where we are, that would be super awesome.
Let's see. So last week we left Calfax after we kind of spoke to tried to speak to the Tinkerer. Tried to talk to the Tinkerer, and then we left the acolytes there. Told them, gave them some homework to do. So they better be doing it. Otherwise, Ivy's gonna be really mad. And then we went ahead and I used the teleportation circle to send us to Matria. We were going there on our way to try to investigate or try to find out what's going on with the what is it? The mind, the people of the mind.
The House of the Mind, yep.
House of the Mind. I could not think of that word. Good Lord. Okay, House of the Mind. Who are kind of like the other part of the House of the Mind, which is currently where we are. So we went to the House of the Heart. House of the Heart. That's where we're going. So we went to Matria. And when we got into the lighthouse and we went downstairs, shit popped off. So we were chilling over there, trying to just mind our own business when we got attacked by three unknown figures, unknown things. We beat the crap out of one of them. Shield was doing some mad damage on the second one. And the third one, nobody was really paying attention to until really like the end. They weren't that much of a threat until like the end. So then what ended up happening was the one that Shield was doing mad damage on decided to pop out and just dip with their dead friend and the other paladin or whatever. And then they left. So now we're here on this tropical island at this lighthouse trying to figure out what's the next move.
Yep, that's pretty much exactly it. We had a wizard, a warlock, and a paladin. And we killed the warlock, and then the wizard just did wizard shit and blinked everybody out. So yeah, we are on an island. We're on the lighthouse island, right outside of Matria, which Matria is one of the port cities in the mainland, which we haven't been to together as a group yet. So we're making waves, making way, but a day on the beach sounds great. Plus, I want to talk to you guys about a new potential career opportunity that recently populated into my mind, which means I'm probably going to give up politics for something better than politics. Sammy, like when we went back to Astoria, it was still standing. So I guess Sammy was doing okay. So maybe I could focus on something different.
Okay. What did you have in mind?
Well, so I was thinking, right? You know how when we were on the island and that random person popped up and was like, you heard it from me first. And I was like really offended because they didn't know it first. We knew it first. So then I got to thinking like, that's a bird person doing the news. I'm a bird person who is creating news. So why not join the Pigeon News Network as a field journalist, and then I will really be knowing what's going on first because I like to be in the action. And also, at the same time, it's potentially helpful for controlling the media narrative on information we don't need spread out. Like, oh, everybody at Caltech's dying. I'm not a pigeon, but I got these beautiful wings.
So you plan on being a mayor and a journalist and a musician
No.
and
I'm
an
gonna give up
adventurer.
politics. And I'm going to change my career path from politics to just simply being a celebrity.
I see.
Because, right, like if I'm part of the Pigeon News Network, then I can become a famous news anchor, right? So that's that. And then I'm already going to be a famous musician / storyteller / person, So, well, bird, you know what I mean? Bird person, avian. So why not just wrap them all together into one celebrity profession?
How is that going to affect adventuring with us, though? Like, aren't you going to get assignments that...
No. See, here's the thing. Here's what I think is the best part. I'm already out in the world adventuring. I'm already doing this stuff with you guys in the mix. Now I can write about it and report it and get paid for already doing the things that we're doing. So, I mean, I would be a field reporter. So I would be out adventuring because that's where the news is. That's where the excitement is. And maybe Pigeon News Network has a faster travel system that I would have access to get us to the happening news faster, since we're already like one step ahead of them. Then I would be like the top journalist, the top reporter.
But it's like, is that how that works? Because I thought that it worked like they gave you places for you to go, and then you report it there, not you just kind of go wherever and find.
I mean, that may be what they do with their other reporters.
Oh, you're a special reporter, is what you're saying.
Well, I would love to be. If they'll
not
let
like
me
the
join.
other reporters, is that it?
If they'll let me join, I think it's a good idea. I mean, why not?
How much does it pay?
I mean, anything is better than what I'm getting paid now, which is nothing.
I mean, that is a fair point.
I'm just saying.
Some income is better than none.
I missed the first half of that, but sure.
Yeah, it's funny. I know it's like daytime and stuff, and you were probably busy doing rituals to the bright sun when we were getting ready to come down to the beach, but you just missed my genius idea of my career path change from a politician to a celebrity.
Okay.
I was thinking about joining the Pigeon News Network.
Oh.
Since I'm already avian, I'm already out in the world doing newsy stuff, like creating news, being there before these lame-ass reporters that they have now were there, because we were at Caltech first. We knew that shit was going down, and we went there.
Oh, yeah, you should totally get paid for doing Pigeon News Network reporting.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I could be a reporter since we're already adventuring. It would be a good way to do field journalism. They wouldn't have to give me assignments because I already have my own, and they're just getting information in exchange for some gold pieces and maybe some faster travel magic like that dude. That Birdman, he popped in, popped out. That would be sweet as shit to be able to do. Just saying.
Can you do illusions?
Sometimes.
Could you do like illusions to go with your news reports?
Oh, absolutely. Because I'm already an entertainer. I'm already going to be a famous bard someday when I'm a little older and have a little more gray in my feathers and, practice some more and stuff. But I'm already really good in my young age. So I'm already going to be famous. I might as well make some use of being awesome and my awesome bard skills. Like, I'm a good storyteller. I'm a good talker. I think I'm a good talker. I do it a lot, a really big amount of time I talk. So why not get paid to do that?
Okay.
Mhm.
So, I mean, I am on board with this new career change as long as you get to continue hanging out with us and,
Oh, dude,
along with
if
us.
they told me that I had to give up my epic adventuring, which is the source of all of the material that I use to write my songs and stories, I would tell them that they're pigeons for a reason and not an owl news network.
That's true. Well, I will say that if, this doesn't work out for you, you could also be a songwriter. I'm sure there are some people out there who could really, I mean, I feel like you are really good at putting things together on the spot for your songs. I feel like, if you ever need something and the pigeon news thing doesn't work, that would be something you could try to do.
Oh,
Just
well,
be a ghostwriter.
ooh, ghosts. I am pretty good with ghosts, but you know, I'll think about that. It's a good point. I'll think about it. But I'm saying the Pigeon News Network thing, it just seems to like be perfect. And
Yeah.
also, I maybe have my own selfish reasons for wanting to join the Pigeon News Network. Things selfishly beneficial to our party because they talk about news before they air the news. So they have the breaking news before they break it. So if I'm part of the Pigeon News Network and something big happens, then I'll know and I'll be able to tell you and we'll be able to go to the place and do the thing if it's something that we're vigilanteing while we're at it.
Is this you being jealous that I get the pigeon news before you?
No.
Is that where this is coming from?
No, it was
I just tell you right away.
Was thinking about the guy when he popped in on us, putting his nose in business we didn't want spread. And then I was like, damn, I wish there was a way to control the narrative of the media. And then I was like, damn, what if I became the media to help control the narrative?
Then you would become the evil you abhor.
Well, I just don't want people knowing our acolytes are at Calthax. I'm actually a little nervous about our acolytes at Calthax. It's kind of why I'm a little chatty. I've never felt this way before, never had eggs in a nest. It's a little past my realm of wants for the world. Being a celebrity and stuff doesn't really work with kids, but I just feel some responsibility to these acolytes, and I'm very anxious that they're home by themselves in a place where people were just murdered. So I'm just really anxious. Do you think they're okay? You don't think they burned the island down, right? Like, you don't think anybody came back and tried to kill them or anything?
No,
They
I
probably
think
have not burned down the island yet. Give them time.
I think if anything, they're probably having a party and not doing their homework. Who here has sending? We need to send a message that they need to be doing their homework.
I do have
them homework.
Yes, I told them that they needed to study, that there was a lot of spells in there that they need to look through. I think Sai told them that too. And I said something else, that if they did something, I would teach them a spell. I think I said a 3rd level spell or something.
I feel like you need to be a little bit more precise in homework. Otherwise, they can just say whatever they want is homework being done.
No, they told me she was very precise before we left. I told them they should listen to her.
I said, what did I say? Did I say, I think I told them to learn some defensive spells or something? Something beef up the defenses. You told them to
scour the temple for traps and or defenses and or spells that would be defenses we should put in place next time we come through.
There you go.
At least that's what they told me that you told them to do. And they seemed fairly sure of themselves. I was very impressed with their focus, actually.
Well, I think checking in on them, via a sending or a phone call or, whatever type of communication, I think that would be a good idea. I would rather call the Tinkerer, seeing as how the Tinkerer is probably the closest thing we could consider to an adult on the island. But I doubt that we'd get really any response, seeing as how we didn't get much response being there in person. So
Yeah.
I think we should probably just contact the acolytes and say, hey, what are you doing? I think that would be something we could do sometime today. Not right now. I'm enjoying my time on the beach. This is nice, but maybe in a little bit.
I think I can prepare sending. I don't think I generally keep it up.
I have it. I've got it. It's always prepared for me. It's one of my psionic spells from my sorcerer lineage line.
Well, there you go. You have just a direct line, you know. And
I was thinking
become,
because
You
I
know,
was thinking we should get him souvenirs while we're in Matria, shouldn't we? We should get him something like
a pen.
I learned a new spell or something, T-shirt or something to take him home. I don't know. You know, something that says we're thinking about you while we were out.
you know, if we want to like get the Tinker to respond to us, we should just send him sendings every day before bedtime. Every day until he responds.
I think we would go back to Calthax and find some landmines where they used to not be.
But isn't that what we want?
Maybe not for us.
Maybe yeah, I was gonna say not for us.
I feel like we should start training a rat to go with us the next time we need to go to Calthax to detect landmines.
Well, I got Batty White. Maybe Batty White can be a
No.
ratty.
You'd have
Betty
to summon her in more of a rat form so that she could scurry along the ground and sniff them out.
Well, she could, but you know, last time I was having a discussion with Batty about asking her to do some stuff for us, I got a little bit of an extra attitude because she wasn't really fond of me turning her into an octopus on a frozen ice bridge. That kind of pissed her off a little bit. So I'm a little in the doghouse, in the birdhouse, actually.
Well, I mean, Sai, don't you have some pretty cool leaves that we can just throw on the ground and just, you know?
Well, look at that. I guess I do.
Nice. So I think that would be a good alternative. Instead of sending Batty White, we might want to get something for Batty White too if Olvera's in the doghouse. To kind of mend that a little bit. You know, because we will be most likely asking Batty White to do something for us. So
Yeah,
plus it'd be nice.
It would be nice, but I mean, Betty is a little temperamental for somebody who's only here based on my own magic. I'm just saying. Just saying. I'm not really sure Betty has a wing to lean on in the making demands of me situation when I have better things I could be spending my gold on, like a new outfit for when I'm becoming part of the Pigeon News Network, so I'm always looking presentable.
That's true. We gotta get you a nice suit.
We do got a lot of money, though. We do have a decent, well, I wouldn't say a lot. It's a decent amount. We've accumulated a decent amount of funds through our travels. Speaking of, I think we maybe should do a little shopping while we're here in Matria. Looks like some of you guys could use a few things.
We should make sure we have some revivified diamonds.
Ooh, diamonds?
Okay, so I'm going to reach in my bag and I'm going to pull out the mask. So this mask, I know I didn't tell you everything about it, but I guess if you're going to support my career as a celebrity, I could share a little bit of my secrets with you. Right? I think that's fair.
This is beginning to sound like a prelude to heresy.
Does it do
I'm a
something really scary?
rascal, but not that kind of rascal.
I still don't want to touch it.
You don't have to. It's totally mine.
Great.
Like
Okay, great.
I did the whole bag of sand thing for my own gettings of it, so I got it right. But when I was researching the mask, speaking of revivify, it does some things. It has a name. The name of it is Scully's Second Chance.
Oh wow. Okay.
It gives me the following abilities per day if I wear it, which I don't want to wear it all the time, only if I need to. It gives me the Dance Macabre 5th level spell, Wither and Bloom 3rd level spell, and once per week I can use it to cast Revivify, sands, material components, anything like that. So we don't have to buy diamonds. I just have to mask on, like Future, mask off.
We should still have one of these. We should still have a diamond in case you are the one who needs revivified.
Well, then you just put my mask on and use it.
That almost certainly requires attunement to use it, and attunement takes an hour, and revivify is in the last minute.
And I have to touch it.
But it's
Thanks
pretty.
to my undying faith and loyal God, you don't need any diamonds from me at least. But if the rest of your tiny broken bodies need it, we could pick up some diamonds.
I don't think it would be a bad idea to get some diamonds.
Should we just have Shield wear the mask? He's already wearing a mask. We could just swap which one.
I suppose theoretically.
I'm still feeling a little bit of, since we're here and we're sitting around as friends, I'm harboring a little animosity towards Shield from when he was in his Lord Humongous phase.
You can't hold that against me.
Lord Humongous douchebag, and I'm really still feeling minorly offended. So if you be nice to me, I might let you borrow my mask. But you have to say some really nice things. I mean, I could even write the nice things out for you so you don't have to think too hard. I know your fighting skills take a lot of brain cells, the whole two that you have to rub together still, Shield. But I really need a sincere, genuine apology. I'll even take a sonnet. You could write me a sonnet.
What exactly did Lord Humongous do to you? I feel like I'm drawing a blank on this. I thought we were all good.
Considering that was hardly me to begin with, I feel like this is highly unfair to hold against me. You can keep the mask if you want. You just don't have to make excuses.
Well, I mean, I'm willing to share things that are mutually beneficial to everybody, as long as you know at the end of the day, if we go our separate ways, that it goes with me. That's fine. You know what I'm saying? But you still have to apologize to me.
I'm still trying to figure out what did Lord Humongous do?
I'm certain Shield doesn't know.
I'm certain Shield doesn't know. I don't know. Sonny, do you know? Sai? Anybody?
I would like to reiterate,
My
that wasn't me.
Memory of that I would argue that it probably was an aspect of you. Based on my similar experience, it seems to have been us, just inside out and upside down. Which means that there is an asshole inside of you somewhere. But that's probably healthy.
Deep down, Shield. Deep down. Way down. Don't worry, way down.
I don't think it's as far down as you're insinuating.
I mean,
where does he keep his roots?
I don't have roots.
He's got more.
You should work on.
We do have roots. We have roots as mammals. We do. They're just internal roots. We got our own root system.
Organs? Those count as roots now?
No.
Roots meant like culture.
I'm talking about what are they called? They're blue and they're red and they transport the bloody stuff to your heart. You know,
veins.
Yeah, bingo. This is why
that's not roots. We have those in trees too. Those are capillaries.
Oh, well, it was a good.
That's how we make syrup.
This is why I write songs and not do brain surgery.
Anatomy and physiology is not your strong suit, and that's okay. You're more,
anyway,
and we love that.
We wanted to spend money.
Yes, money. According to my calculations, we have, and I'll say it very quietly in case there's any eavesdroppers so we don't get robbed, 4,760 gold pieces.
That's a pretty good bit right there.
Give or take a few, depending on your personal pockets, but this is our Golden Company inventory.
Good, good. Well, I think that for starters, well, since you're kind of worried about the acolytes and we need to talk to them and I need a staff, I think I might just pop over to Calthax and check on the acolytes, make sure they're whatever, they're studying, doing the good work. And I might just go and snag a little staff here or there,
Well,
they don't need it, so why not?
Snagging when you're the archmage now? I mean, don't you appropriate all of those positional belongings when you take office?
That's probably true. I could probably get like 6 or 7 staffs, probably lock them in a chest or something. I don't really think I should be probably letting the acolytes have those quite yet, especially not like the staff of fire or the staff of thunder and lightning or any other type of staff that causes great destruction that doesn't use their spell slots. So I think probably I'll just do like kind of like a little sweep, and see what was left there, what I can find, what I need, and probably lock up the rest of them nice and tight. And then I'll pop back over. I mean, you are welcome to come.
Do you think Calthax would be a good base of operations for us since it's a central location and you're technically the archmage now?
Yes, I definitely would say yes.
I mean, there's plenty of sun, so Sunny, you'll be happy. There's plenty of idiots that are going to try to come and attack it at some point, so Shield, you'll be happy. Sai, there's water, sun, and dirt, so you could be happy there too. And there's all kinds of information for me to put my beak into, and Ivy, you just get to be the boss. It would be a totally legit idea, just saying. You could think about it in the future. It saves on rent. We don't have to pay for a hotel that way.
This is true. We can be roomies. It'd be like they were roommates.
But it would be a good idea, you are right, to go and see. We didn't really, when we were cleaning up the bodies and stuff so that they didn't come back to life and destroy our acolytes while we were gone, we didn't really check their belongings or anything. So maybe there's some extra gold pieces or extra helpful things. Probably not so much for Shield and Sai, but there might be some things for Sunny and Ivy you could find in there.
And you.
Well, I got this mask. And I got this headband. So
I am just now noticing the headband. Wow. What does this headband do besides give you a great look?
It just adds to my greatness.
Okay.
It's a charisma booster.
Okay. That is very nice. You are very charismatic, so that definitely works in your favor. Okay. So, I'd say that we could definitely use Calthax as a base of operations. Plus, it would give us a good excuse to periodically pop back over there and check on the acolytes, make sure things are okay, see about defenses and whatnot. That way, you won't experience, a little bit of this separation anxiety. I think it would be healthy for all of us.
I don't know if it's separation anxiety as more like they are probably incredibly important to our overall mission of retrieval. And we did tell them we would keep them safe, and we did take a lot of their money. So I'm a rascal with a minor shred of conscience.
Okay.
Only a minor, only on some days. Not very many, but a few.
I mean, that's
Occasionally.
fair. That's fair.
I
Okay.
think what Elvira is saying is that they were the spares, but now they're the heirs.
I see what you did there, Sai. I see what you did there. Okay. Okay.
And that's why she cares.
That's why she cares.
Hey. Lord Humongous was already stepping on my toes and trying to be extremely entertaining. I don't need the rest of you. I don't need your help.
Oh, okay.
But I do have to ask you something.
I wasn't trying to step on your toes. You just rub off on me after a while.
Yeah, that's fair.
And not just leaving feathers in my gills or branches or wherever you're leaving them.
I keep being blamed for whatever perceived slights Lord Humongous gave you. I would like to reiterate that I closed my eyes, opened them, was in a brand new place, and suddenly you were angry at me.
I'll think about not being angry at you once you finish writing me that sonnet.
Shield, at some point you and I should work on reintegrating those experiences into our sense of self.
I don't know how well that's going to go. Lord Humongous, from what I hear, reminds me too much of younger me, and I don't like younger me.
So we found the butthole. It's younger you. You were a butthole in your youth. See, I knew it was an aspect of you. Just like apparently I was my roots.
I suppose if that's the way you want to phrase it, sure.
I mean, it was nicer than my phrasing. So you should accept it.
So, Sai, were you an older version of you, like after the tree had rotted and became mushrooms?
No, I was just upside down, and now I'm sort of, I don't know, like a mixture. And I hold out a branch, and you can see I've got some shelf fungus still hanging out on that branch.
Oh, I get it.
It was kind of fun being able to do magic, so I've been meditating and trying to join the aspects of myself better, thinking maybe I can tap into my magic mushrooms from time to time.
A symbiosis of sorts.
Well, that's how it's always been. That's why I could always tap into the myconid network as well. Just put your roots down and the fungus can talk.
Very nice.
But yes, I was not an older version. I've always been complex.
That's deep, Sai. That's deep.
My roots are not that. It comes from moving around.
So, Calfax base of operations, but also to see what kind of fancy loot they might have that's beneficial. Aside from that, there are some items that we could probably see if we could pick up while we're here in town. Matria is more of a busy place. The population is booming, and by the look of the boomers, and I'm going to point to the beach on the mainland, they probably got some fancy shops around here.
By booming, you don't mean exploding.
No, by booming, I mean the old fogies.
I confess that shopping still confuses me. What is the purpose?
To acquire goods.
What goods do we need?
Weapons, magical items, things that will help us along our journey.
What goods do I need?
That is a good question. What is it that you need?
Sunlight and water and bird shit, which comes with wherever I go. So I don't know. Do you guys think I need anything? I don't understand shopping. I don't even know what the options are.
If we find stuff, we should see if some of it's good for Sai.
I agree. Maybe something we could rub into your bark or something of the sort that would help boost your abilities.
There's a part of me who really wants to see a tree with a staff. I'm right.
Maybe we might find you a nice
I don't
hat
know.
or something.
I have no idea what you do with the staff, but like it just seems like
It just becomes a part
know,
of them. It just becomes a part of them. That's all.
I have one, and I pull out a quarterstaff that I've been carrying literally this entire game. It's just never been useful.
I like how you just have a quarter staff that you could have used for melee attacks this whole time.
But why would I use it when my leaves are more effective?
I mean, this is true.
I also have this whip made of my own branches, but again, it's only been useful like once.
you know, sometimes you can just use shopping to buy things that are just stylish or things that you can just use for memes.
I could use a nice belt.
Shopping provides serotonin, makes you happy, right? Serotonin, that's the chemical that makes you happy, right? Similar to vitamin D from the sun for you and vitamin D from the sun for Sunny, because Sunny really likes the sun. You know how it makes you like all happy and shit? That's what shopping does for other folks like me. I
thought
like
what you bought in taverns was the stuff that makes you full.
Food.
that's food.
Right.
That's
What I
nutrient.
get from the sun. The
Right.
sun makes me full. That's why I don't eat hamburgers like you do.
Well,
This is very complicated explanationing. So, like, your roots drink water, and you know that gives you food. And like the guano gives you food too, and like the sun like cooks the food so you could eat it, right? But like it also provides happiness to people with skin and not bark.
Very cool.
how does it feel, Sai, when you get a new leaf or some sort of new growth?
Less itchy than right before it sprouts.
And how does it make you feel? Like emotionally?
Emotionally.
Yes. Do you feel happy when you see this new growth?
I don't think that's something I feel.
Oh,
I do get angry sometimes, but mostly it's just angry or not.
Yeah, but if you can get angry, that means you can also do the opposite, because you can't have one without the other. So if you can get angry, you can also get happy. You know, like when the sun is shining just right and the wind is blowing and it's a nice day and you got your roots planted somewhere, and so you're just like want to wave your branches in the wind, you know, kind of like dancing. Isn't that a happy feeling?
It is a comfortable feeling.
comfortable. Okay, that's something. We're it's not quite there, but it's on the way.
Hmm.
Curiouser and curiouser.
I am still interested in hearing more about this shopping you wish to do. Sunny, tell me about shopping.
Mostly it's about finding interesting things and then trading coin for it. Or sometimes other stuff. Sometimes you trade favors.
Yes. Some people even trade souls.
I'm not sure I'd be willing to do that.
Yeah, I would not recommend, but people do it.
Some people call that heresy.
And some people call that a normal Thursday night.
What is
Heretics.
heresy even?
So think of things that the sun wouldn't like. Now imagine people doing those things. That's heresy. For
No.
you, anyway.
That's just people doing stuff that's dumb.
Yes, heretics are usually dumb.
I think you think the sun likes and wants things more than it does. The sun
Right.
is.
I like how he's like, the things the sun doesn't like. And so he's just like, the sun likes everything, though. The sun likes most things. It's the sun.
I really think this concept of enjoyment and pleasure is not. I think that it is a very humanoid sensation.
Perhaps.
I think
No,
that
oh my God, I figured out the best way to explain it to you. I figured it out. It's the difference of having one bird to poop on you, which gives you just like minimal sustenance, or having like 10 birds to poop for you that gives you extra sustenance, so you're extra full. That's got to be enjoyable, right?
I really prefer one bird because I know you and your poop tastes better.
You're a complicated tree shroom.
I am aware. I didn't used to be. Anyway, Sonny, you were going to tell me more about shopping because this seems like something I could learn. I do not think I have enough
Tonin.
that. I don't think I have enough syrup to. Well, I have syrup. I don't have enough human syrup to understand what Elvira is saying, but I might understand commerce.
It's mostly about finding things that are entertaining to you in some way or the other, or bring you either make you happy in some way or fulfill some need you have that other people have figured out how to, generate, provide, or otherwise have, and trading them for that. And like part of the fun of shopping sometimes is like, getting to look at all the different options and pick which one is most fun. Sometimes you just like looking to see what's there. You don't actually have to buy anything. You just have to like go and look and imagine that might be fun. And you're like, nah, I don't think I look good in black. I need shiny. And
Bartering is also fun.
But just those sort of like mental exercises of exploring it all. So I don't know what you'd want, but that's really up to you.
I would like a staff that gives me ultimate power. That's what I'd like to shop for. Or loot, I guess, because that's essentially what we're doing first.
Really, I'm pretty easy. I like things that are shiny.
Well,
Yes.
while we're waiting to loot, you can have my staff.
Oh, well, I have a staff already, and it is a very nice staff. But I think that I'm just looking for an upgrade on something that'll help me kind of round out a little bit. Something that helps me, get a little more power, maybe be able to use less of my spell slots, and something that helps me kind of, beef up a little bit. So I'm not as easy to hit.
You need bark.
You are probably correct. Unfortunately, as a humanoid, I cannot naturally produce or use bark to that extent.
It's okay. Nobody's perfect. I don't have tonal syrup, and you don't have bark.
Yet together, we complete each other.
And I pick you up and put you in my branches. I'm like, okay.
This is friendship, y'all. This is friendship.
So now that we've explained the concept of shopping, do you have a perspective on the items you think are priority for the shopping experience.
Yes. I think
I'm
for
getting,
starters,
I'm getting my notepad out so I could take our shopping list.
perfect. Okay, Shield. I know Shield needs a couple of things. We need to definitely get Shield a better weapon. I would say that.
Yeah, I believe I have the most prolific hand-to-hand experience, so some new, maybe even enchanted equipment, if we can find it around here, would be nice.
Yeah, but when you're done with the Chop-O-Matics, you're not allowed to get rid of it because that was a gift to you when we were still friends. Before your humongous bully part of you decided to bully me.
You can have the Chop-O-Matic back if we find something then.
Well, no, I wanted you to keep it as a gift. It was a gift
Well,
of
then-
friendship. It was a
well,
token
then
of
I'll-
I didn't peck your fucking eyes out. You should keep it. You should enjoy that.
All right, I'll hold on to it.
You know what? If you don't want my gift, give it back now. Don't even wait to do something new.
I think what
Okay,
we're
stop trying to bully Shield.
You know, Shield
I
bullied
feel
me.
like I feel like this is something that like you had a bad dream about Shield and then like you woke up and now you're mad at him. But it's something that Dream Shield did. So I don't think you can really like still be mad at something Dream Shield did because it was Dream Shield and not real Shield or present Shield, I should say. And Shield can definitely keep Chop-O-Matic and get something else that might help as well. You know? He could do a two-hand thing, you know? It could be a whole show. I can throw a fireball, it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Slice and dice.
There you go. Shake and bake, you know? We can make it happen. We can make this work.
So a new weapon for Shield. Yes.
Yes.
Or any
Okay.
kind of trinket to help out in the melee, really. A weapon would be nice, but anything would be better than nothing.
I know, Sonny, I think you said you had some ideas, right? On some good items that you thought would be beneficial?
I have stuff I've seen for sale before. I don't know how easy it'll be to find any of the stuff. But we can look. We can see what's there. Like I know wizards sometimes wear protective stuff. Maybe that would be good for Shield too. And Ivy. Really for all of us.
Yeah, we might be able to find some cool amulets or something in that'll offer some type of protection. Some nice defense.
I mean, if things are going to try to hit us, it'd be nice to like make it harder for them.
Right. And even though it is a wizard's tower, you have to remember this also was a place of study. So it would not be far-fetched to assume that they would also have some sort of other weapons besides staffs there. I'm not saying there's going to be a lot of them. They might not even be really good stuff, but it'd be worth to check it out at least. And then whatever we don't find in the tower, then we can just go shop. But if we could find some stuff in the tower, that would be great because then we can save our coin for when it actually really matters.
I do think that I would look very fancy with some amulets in my branches if we find any that are good for me.
Ooh, yes.
Do we think a hat would work on Sly? I can't picture it. Amazing.
I was thinking the same thing.
You could probably hang it on one of the high branches and just let it dangle, right?
I was like, side with the top hat. It'd be great. It'd be great. And then we get Sai a nice belt because a nice belt would look good on them on their nice trunk.
Well, I feel like I have seen people who wear those circlets that are supposed to go around their heads. But if they were magical, I could probably wear one as a belt. if it boosted me in some way that would be helpful to my friends.
That is true.
For example, I am not sneaky unless I'm standing still. I don't know if we have anything that could fix that or if such a thing exists.
I normally think that'd be something like a cloak you'd hide under or boots, but you don't really seem the boots type.
Can you even put boots on roots?
Just shove the roots through them. I'm sure it'll be fine.
I think I would fall over if I put all my roots into two places.
That would be a pretty cool experiment, though. It'd be interesting to see Sai as a bipedal.
I think we just all keep being amused at the idea of dressing up the tree.
Yeah, I definitely have already realized that I am going to spend some money to buy Sai a top hat. Okay, it's the most irrational thing, but I will do it.
By the end of our adventuring days, Sai is going to look like one of those decoration trees in an old witch's front yard, with all of this shiny stuff hanging from Sai's branches and all of that. That's what you're going to look like.
This is going to be great.
So a weapon for shield, and something to make shield's bark stronger, a staff for Ivy, an amulet for Sunny, or some other maybe jewelry to help Sunny, and then amulet or a circlet for Sai. That's what I have on the list.
And a top hat. Don't forget the top hat for Sai. It's very important.
I'm not convinced it's very important.
It's for science.
Science?
Yes, science.
That's very weird science.
Don't worry about it. Just know it's science.
Fair. Okay, that's a good shopping list. We've got just under 5,000 gold pieces, so we may be able to acquire one or two of those items if we could find them, depending on how expensive Matria is.
Yes, we can also barter.
Or if someone knows where something got left, we could go find it. That can be fun.
That too.
Well, we're already searching for weapons anyways, so isn't there one in Matria? Isn't there a Matrian family in our list? I'm gonna flip back through my journal pages and look and see. Because I think one of them was Matrian, if I'm not mistaken, right? We just don't know where they who.
We don't know what all maps to which either. It's the other bit, and so it's possible like.
Well, we figured out the sword belonged to the Atazans, so we know that part. So we can take the Atazans off the list. We know, and we know where they're from, Asperon. So we know Atazans are Asperon, and they got the sword. So that's one full set of information we can check off of our 5. We know where Dr. Haber is. He's Haber Sorn. He's the founder of Kamach Kalan. So we know who that is and where he went. So that's 2 things. We just don't know what item he has. We know that we have possession, the rapier. We just don't know who it belongs to. So we just still, and Viva Riandi. Oh my fucking God. Oh my fucking God. The successor to the original Archmage of Calthax is
Yes.
Livka Vivariandi. He's one of the inheritance. We just need to find out where he's from and what weapon he has.
So we are. So are we gonna kill that person and take the weapon, or
Well,
I don't know. I kind of feel like they're a threat to me specifically. So
I agree. I agree.
Speaking of threats, possibly, on the off chance any of these more than likely very powerful beings have felt a cold chill across their neck while we say their names out loud, I'm gonna go keep watching the lighthouse.
Good job, Shield.
sounds
And,
good. Thank you, Shield.
Shield will shuffle onto the lighthouse, and IRL, I gotta run, so I'll see y'all next week.
Bye.
Bye.
He's working on the sonnet. Bye.
Sonnet.
So we have the rapier in our possession, and we don't know who it belonged to, but we do know who the great sword belongs to. So at least we know that much. So we can check that off the list of knowledge that we have. That I'm not a big fan of the Lifka guy. I just think he's really a threat to our friend Ivy. So we should eliminate that threat at all cost. Yeah, that's definitely a thing we should do.
I mean, that's true. There are various ways we can go about this. We can either just, hey, are you Vivariandi? Fireball, or we could do the sneaky sneak, like, hey, be my friend, and then like betray them. There's different routes we could go. Because it seems like this person is somebody who we might want information from in regards to magical weapons, a little bit of history. So I feel like, the latter option is better. Probably maybe a little bit less violent.
Can you help me remember next time we go to Calthax to see if I can find a book on poison making?
Yes. And
I
there
know
might be a history book.
I know how to do it. I just would like to become proficient in the skill. And I have all the equipment as well. But I didn't think about it when we were there before. But I would like to take a book to read while we're traveling.
That's fair. Does anybody else want any other books?
That's a lot of work.
Maybe a picture book of sunsets.
Not the same. But thank you for thinking of me.
Wow.
That's fair, though. That's very fair. Sai, are there any books that perhaps you might want? Maybe.
I am absolutely interested in someone sharing with me texts of sorcery or of botany or of poisons. I find poisons very fascinating.
Maybe we could study poisons together whenever we're resting at night before we go to sleep. I can just read aloud from the book while I'm laying in your branches, and we could learn at the same pace, and then we'll become proficient in the poisoning skill together.
That would be amazing. I also enjoy good stories, particularly of travelers between the realms. I like stories. That's why I hang out with a bard. But also, I recently discovered that I have magic and would love to learn more of that if there's anything easy or accessible.
Is it magic you can learn, though? Or is it something that was like, did you learn it somewhere? Or was it like something that was just already in you and you just didn't even know?
I think it might be like shopping and emotions, where I don't know enough to know the answer.
That's fair. Do you think while we're traveling, I could maybe see if we could find a new loot? I mean, mine's really nice, but there's one fancy one from a legendary bard college that I'd really like to go to someday that they have that maybe I could find one that's that.
So you want to take it and loot it?
If it's too expensive to buy,
We're gonna loot the loot.
other means of procuring, maybe. You are my illegal cleric, so I can tell you these things. But
There's
my
people
legal
that-
cleric is present.
As your legal cleric, I heard nothing.
But giggled happily anyway.
Yes, you're like this conversation never happened. I'm going to
Already
pretend like
having
you
a
didn't
cleric
do
in my pocket. You know what? This is great. I'm really glad I met you guys and we became friends because having a legal and illegal cleric is going to be really great for when I do become a celebrity someday because I will probably have things that you'll have to help me do. And people are going to try to probably steal my gold and stuff or get me to do stuff that I don't really want to do. And I'll be able to just say, well, my legal cleric says I can't. So, you know.
Hopefully, once you become a celebrity, you will use your legal cleric more than your illegal cleric.
I mean, I don't know. There's some pretty rascally celebrities out there.
You
That's
intend
fair.
to be one of them?
Do what?
You intend to be one of them?
I intend to be rascally in means that assist other folks. You know, folks that were less unfortunate in their upbringing like I was. If I can do rascal things that'll help other folks, then I'm going to be a rascal. But I don't want to be a rascal that's not a helpful rascal. There's just no sense in rascaling for the sake of rascaling. There's got to be a reason. And I prefer to use my reason as a good one, like a good seasoning on a good chicken wing. That's what my reasoning are. You know?
Okay.
But rascally things as a celebrity kind of comes with it. Sometimes you just have to. Like, oh, I had to drink all 8 bottles of that very expensive wine that was given to me because it would be just rude if I didn't drink the gift. You know? That's a little bit rascal behavior, drinking 8 bottles of wine. But it's necessary because it's rude if you don't. You know? Somebody gives you a gift, you keep the gift, you like the gift, you enjoy the gift.
I mean, it's also rude if you don't share with your friends, though. Where was I when this bottle of wine incident happened?
Well, I got 10 bottles of wine. I would drink 8 and I would give 2 to my friends. There's
Okay.
4 of you, so that's 1 bottle per 2 people. And I mean, Sai doesn't probably drink wine.
I was going to say, does Sai drink wine?
That's 1 bottle for Sunny, 1 bottle for Ivy, because Shield's God or whatever conscious thing that he has on a regular basis probably doesn't even let him drink because it's a fun thing and he ain't allowed to do fun things.
What if the god drinks wine but doesn't let Shield drink wine? That sounds like something petty they would do.
That's fair. I'll say that's fair. Oh, I need to pick up also another bag of sand because I used most of mine retrieving this mask.
Ivy's just gonna shiver every time she sees the mask. Just
Oh, it's definitely a
cursed item.
possibly terrible item. Potentially. You know what? Guess what? This is gonna be it. This is gonna be the mask right here. I got one. It's gonna be
I
it.
think
It's gonna look
Ivy has definitely peeped that the mask is a baddie.
It's gonna be it. This is my mask right here.
Oh boy. I love that mask. I love it. Ivy does not, but I love it.
This is going to be, whenever I wear it, this is what I'm going to wear. It's going to be Scully's Revenge. It's going to be having flowers and danglies.
Like the most,
Yeah.
mask.
You got your revenge on Scully by augmenting the mask.
Well, I got to spruce it up a little bit. Actually, I'm going to willow it up a little bit. I'll hang some of Sai's leaves from it So that way it's not as intimidating to my friends because it contains dead parts of my current friend, right? You know, that's less intimidating, right?
Which dead
Yeah.
current friend does it contain parts of?
Well, I mean, pulling off size leaves when they die is actually like peeling off a piece of your skin if you died. Or if you know, right? Same,
I
right?
thought it was like fallen hair.
Oh, that might be more right. I don't know. I have feathers. I have feathers.
Well,
Fluffy
You
feathers.
keep losing them too, so like shouldn't feel that different.
Do you not have
It's
feathers that
okay.
occasionally fall out?
I occasionally pluck them out because they get itchy, but yeah. Well, like when the seasons change and it gets cold, I get some like more fluffy feathers. It looks like I put on some weight, but it's just actually really feathers. It happens in the winter, kind of like right now, like I'm looking a little pudgy, and you're gonna see I'll poke my feathers. But watch this. I'm gonna swim in the water, and I'm gonna stand up, and I'm still gonna be skinny underneath. Because it's the only place I'm ever skinny is in my D&D characters because I'm fluffy in the real world. So I just got this like nice little aloe vera physique underneath of my fluffy feathers. See, I'm just fluffy.
I love you in any shape or form that you come in.
I mean, that's also fair. Someday I might know enough magic to be able to change what I look like. Then I could go from an owl to maybe a hawk. And then I'll be a talented hawk, not the other lady that supposedly is a talented one.
The other lady?
Yeah, the talented hawk. We've heard about her recently. Venka Sorn.
Ah, okay.
Oh, okay.
She sells things? She's a hawker?
No, that's just her nickname.
Oh.
Yeah, she's just called that. She's the one that killed everybody, remember?
Mm-hmm.
This is, yes, okay.
And she's also kin to Dr. Haber. Whether it's his daughter, his sister, his cousin, she's a Sorn too.
Interesting. Because I thought we saw like an outline of like a dragon when she was going away.
I think didn't the dead guy say that she is called the Shadow Dragon?
Maybe she's working with a dragon?
Either that or she's able to turn into shadow by some kind of magic, and her shadow just looks like a dragon when she flies.
That's fair. That could be it.
That would be kind of cool, but
She has to have some high power level of magic to do what she killed the most magical, smartest magical folks ever by her own self.
That's
So
true.
being able to shapeshift into a dragon, or even to shape your shadow into a dragon, which we did see a dragon shadow, and she was called. The guy said he said talented hawk shadow dragon. That's what the dead man said.
I mean, Alvira does have a point. I mean, they were pretty much able to take out the entirety of Calfax, so I would assume that we're, doing that is probably child's play for the hawk. So, yeah.
But she's related to Dr. Haber, which actually kind of makes sense because she's a crazy bitch for killing all those smart folks, and he was crazy as fuck and wanted to keep us with him. Part of my French, I know I probably shouldn't speak in those tones, but it really makes me angry when I think about that crazy person that tried to keep our tree.
That's fair.
Our tree now. I like you guys. I'll share my tree with you. It'll be our tree now.
Yes.
Not like possessive.
Okay.
No, like, but Sai's our tree. Like, you're my friend. Sai's our tree.
Okay.
Our
On this
tree
side is
friend.
okay with that.
I guess that makes us all tree huggers too, doesn't it?
Yes, and I will hug Sai as I am in
Yeah.
the branches
Let's do a
already.
group hug. Let's do a group hug. If I have permission to give everybody a hug, I will, with consent.
Yes, hug me.
Okay.
I'm fine with that.
But so we made a shopping list. We already know we're going into Matria to try to find the House of the Heart because this is where they're stationed. We learned some information from the dead guy, saying that they had avoided war, but then in Asperon, the message that we received back said war was coming. So maybe the war wasn't avoided like they thought. That's why they killed the House of the Mind, because they were able to avoid the war and they want to see the war come. I don't really know why somebody would want a war on our continent, but
Mhm.
I mean, it's a way to take control of stuff.
that's fair.
It's true. I also think I know that we also talked about Viva Randy and
Mhm.
talked about like I know that we kind of played with the idea or somebody threw it out there that they might be responsible for what happened because they were like the successor or whatnot. But
Yeah,
I
maybe
feel like
Viva is working with Venka.
right. But I feel like if that was the case, as far as the viewpoint from that particular person, like if you wanted to succeed, why didn't you just kill the one person you needed to kill in order to be the? I mean, they were already the successor.
Yeah.
Well, so but like
I
think about it. Go ahead, Sonny. Go ahead.
it feels kind of like a loose thing because also they weren't there to claim the leadership, and the
Right.
person they need to turn the letter into to get the leadership also got killed at about the same time. So like they made it harder for themselves to possibly claim the leadership.
Right.
It feels like maybe they'd benefit, but they might not be the actual villain here.
Right. Or maybe they might be next,
Well, so think about this, right?
which will be fine by me.
So Vivariandi, Livka, and Venka are both descendants of the five founders of Benalia, the main Benalian kingdoms. They're both descendants. Maybe they are working together the way that they did before. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, right, to say that maybe they're possibly working together. The general or the Emperor Justinian is from Asperon and was working with both the House of the Heart and the House of the Mind. And the Archmage said that they had just recently avoided war. So I'm assuming Emperor Justinian was removed from his place of power so that way war could ensue because he was a broker of peace along with the House of the Mind. So removing both of those pieces from the battle board really just makes it easier. Why if the archmage, somebody else is taking over for the mages, but the rest of the most intelligent minds in the country are all in one location and have been working to prevent war, removing all of them if war is your end goal is a smart way, because they could have easily rebelled against a new archmage. You know, all of them could have rebelled against one archmage that wanted to change things or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe it might seem, maybe they left the letter to make it seem like, or he doesn't want the House of the Mind to exist at all. Maybe they don't want the House of the Mind and the Heart to exist because that's what keeps the kingdoms from warring against each other. Maybe they're seeking to raise those five kingdoms up and subjugate the rest of the areas around them,
That's true. From what I know, it seemed like the House of the Mind and the House of the Heart kind of balanced each other out.
Right.
So either completely taking out both or taking out one, I mean, it would make sense that would make war a lot easier to achieve. I mean, you take off the head, aka Justinian, and then take out what you would consider the right hand, the house of the
Yep.
mind, and then you just have the house of the heart. So yeah, I think we should definitely figure out what's going on with the heart, with the house of the heart, like as soon as possible, because they might be on the chopping block next if they're not already chopped.
And also think about it. Justinian was an Atazan. The next in line Atazan was Frederick, who ran away from his home and was in Kamach Kalan with, adventuring with somebody whose name actually wasn't Gendley, and they were fighting a dragon. The weapons that the families that they're from had were Dragon's Bane weapons. So it would make sense to me if Frederick fled home because he wanted to, work with the other families to, do whatever this war is meant to do. Removing Atazan from, leaving Atazan and joining up with these people. Maybe he had a change of heart and that's why they killed him. Maybe they killed him for something more than just his hero story, because where we're sitting right now, the emperor and his heir are both dead. So we don't know who's going to take over the kingdom now. We have no idea. Which also means that Asperon is a seat of power in Benalia, a higher elevated seat of power in Benalia than other places. If the House of the Heart and the House of the Mind are consulting with Asperon to maintain peace across the entire continent, the entire world, right? Which that makes Asperon an elevated seat of power.
Yep.
And they have an emperor, not a king or anything like that. I've not even heard of any of that kind of, like, Kamach Kalan doesn't have a king or an emperor or anything like that. Glaciava has a crime boss that runs it. They don't have a government or anything like that. They've got a crime boss. Kindermunt is under the mountain. They have their dwarven / gnomish hierarchy. So they have the caste system. That's a strict caste system. Esmeralda is elves. Elves also have a caste system, but they did have a king, King Sylvanus. So, I mean, having an emperor, that's bigger than a king, right? Like, that's a higher elevation than a king. Am I not mistaken in that sort of?
You are correct. Mm-hmm. I think we should definitely pay attention to whoever sits next in that seat of power, just because I would be like, you got there kind of in an interesting way.
In Selenium, Selenium is from Asperon, but he's not. I don't remember if he's an heir or not. That's information that I don't know if we got. If Selenium is an Atazan also, or if he's just simply a rich kid from Asperon.
Well, I think we could definitely ask him once we visit Caltex.
Yep,
we'll go back on our loot and check on them and make sure that they're doing their homework.
I think there's a lot of pieces in play right now that are starting to move in the same direction. We just haven't figured out who's moving the pieces.
Correct.
Do you feel like we'll need to go back and deal with Dr. Hopper at some point?
When we're much stronger than we were last time we visited him, because his cutie was not very cute to me. It wanted to eat me.
Yes.
But we have quite a bit of information we're sitting on, which another reason I want to join. All jokes aside, friends, about my being a celebrity. That's my, forefront people see. But the behind the scenes reason of why I want to join the Pigeon News Network is that might help us in our quest, being able to glean extra information that maybe they don't put out into the news, that you only, you know how the newsrooms don't give you everything if something big is happening. So maybe we could find out things that are happening in places from them that will kind of help compass our path as we move forward and try to figure out what kind of buggery and fuckery we're actually dealing with. I'm not a pigeon. I'm way cooler than a pigeon. But I think we do have a lot to figure out, but I don't think we're going to figure it out all at once. So what do you think is the most, I know what our next step is. We're going to try to speak with the House of the Heart here in Matria. But what do you think our next actual like thing that we need to tackle is? Like, where do we go after we speak to House of the Heart? Or do we wait to see what they tell us before we figure out what we do from there?
We wait to see what they tell us.
Mm-hmm.
We should ask around. Go ahead.
I feel like there's someplace we need to be going. I just don't know where that is.
Our original plan was to go to Socotra and then come to Matria anyways, because we hadn't been here, but we skipped Socotra and came via Calthax. So we're on the track that we were going on, sort of, before we detoured with the Acolytes. I mean, it's the direction we were heading. We were coming to Matria and the mainland anyways. But I'm not really, I feel like we have so much to do that it's like an overwhelming personal thought for me to try to figure out what yeah. Like, I'm struggling to put them in a good task list order without the input of my friends, because maybe something I think is important really is minuscule, because I kind of can be a little extra, just a little extra at times, like sprinkles on top of confetti cake extra.
I like the sprinkles.
I like sprinkles too.
Good.
I'm all over these ice cream beats like sprinkles. Trust me, I know.
I think I agree with Sunny. I think we talk to the House of the Heart and kind of see what's going on with them. And then I feel like eventually we're gonna have to go to Asperon. Because it seems like we're pretty much tracking like these three major seats of power. You know, the House of the Mind, the House of the Heart, and then eventually I guess we'll get to
Asperon.
I mean, I don't know if perhaps we might find something from the House of the Heart that might lead us to a completely different place. But I feel like eventually we will probably have to go to Asperon. I think it would be a good idea, Alvira, that since you mentioned the Acolytes, that we should probably ask them and investigate exactly some more of their backgrounds. And kind of grab some more information from them as far as like, you know, positions of power, lineage, things like that.
Yeah, maybe they'll actually be willing to offer information instead of just look at us like we're crazy old fogies.
What were you saying, Sunny?
I do feel like we are going to need to probably try to see how many of these swords or weapons that we collect. I don't know what we're going to do with them, but, you know.
Keeping them out of the hands of people who want to use them to be ne'er-do-wells across the entire continent sounds like a great idea to me.
Yep.
At least the bare minimum.
Right, because
if we can do something cool with them, I'm sure we'll do that too.
It's extremely coincidental, I think, not that we came across Frederick, who isn't who he said he was, right? And had the first sword. So we saw one of these weapons in the very beginning of meeting each other. As we've continued on, families the kingdoms and the weapons keep popping up as we go. And as these sort of problems have arisen that we've gone to investigate, at some point in each problem, they're tied to either one of the families or one of the weapons. Every place that we've gone, there has been some red string that we could draw back to the information that we found about the swords in the first place. Hey, what do you call a chicken staring at a pile of lettuce?
I don't know what.
Chicken Caesar salad.
You know, that was actually really good, Alvaro. That was actually really good. That was a solid joke.
I've been saving it. I've been saving it.
Did you work? I was gonna say, did you work hard on that one?
I was thinking of using it for one of my openers at one of my upcoming shows that someday I'll have when I'm not adventuring anymore. I've been practicing, like putting stuff together, to get a great set list together for when I can actually perform. You know what I just thought? I could probably be making us some extra gold along the way. Every tavern we go to, maybe I could talk to the tavern keep, perform a song or two, and earn some extra coins. Or at least get us free food for those of us that need it.
That sounds like a pretty solid idea, actually.
So, House of the Heart. And my concern was speaking to House. I want to speak to them, but I have reservations on speaking with them too, because if the House of the Heart is the ones who wanted House of the Mind assassinated because they're opposites, maybe there was some things going on in there that we don't know about yet. We could be walking into the bear's nest, the bear cave with not hibernating bears. So I think it's very important of protecting our identity and also the knowledge that we already have. I think it's good of us if we kind of figure out what information we're willing to share and what information we think is best kept to ourselves at this point in time until we know who you can really actually trust. Because we don't know any of these people. We can't really trust any of them. We don't even know if the acolytes are good people, and we could have just left Calthax in the hands of the descendants of evil.
I'm pretty certain the acolytes weren't good people, but we're in the process of making them better people.
That's fair. Plus,
That is
to be quite honest, I think that in terms of intelligent and magical prowess, they are far lacking. So I'm not too concerned about them being in that said place. I'd be more concerned about them hurting themselves unintentionally.
Fair.
That would be my opinion. But yes, I think perhaps we can talk to, like I said, the acolytes and probably just get a little bit more lay of the land. And maybe, who knows, they might, they're rich kids. They might have at some point or another rubbed shoulders or elbows or sat at some dinner that I'm sure was very boring for them with some of these very important people in positions of power that we're going to be interacting with. So I'm sure that they have some information, even if it is perhaps not useful to them, but it might be useful to us.
Right. Maybe. That's a good point. That is a good point. I'm hopeful that they become people that are beneficial to the world in their futures. Like I hope that they have learned from the things that they've seen and that are going on, and they become good people, and maybe they want to prevent. We didn't really ask. I know we apologized to Selenium about his family or whatever, but we didn't really ask how they were feeling. We should have asked. I feel a little bit rude for that, for not asking them how they felt and if they even wanted to be a part of our Inquisition.
On the one hand, I do agree with you. I think perhaps we should have asked. But at the same time, I don't really think they have a choice now, seeing as how their mere existence is a threat to somebody who very clearly wants them dead. So whether or not they do want to be a part of this, they are now a part of it.
Right, but
So.
also my thought in that is, and the reason I bring it up is, if they come from a not so savory background, they're friends because they're nepo kids, but maybe one of them is a Draco amongst the Hermiones and Harrys of the world, and maybe I'm concerned that we are providing knowledge and training to somebody that's going to turn around and use it to do the same thing that put them in position to be one of the last mages around. So we should probably sit and have a conversation with them to kind of pick their minds and see, like, I know they're young, but if we sit them down and are like bros for real, like, let's have an actual adult talk, because we have to level the severity of things in seriousness. Maybe we could get them to give us any actual information they have, because even though they're turds, if they're coming from a pedigree, right? They probably went to nicer educational places. They probably had tutors or somebody who was teaching on them base magic. It would be nice to know names and connections or anything that we could figure out, because maybe something will ring a bell. Maybe it'll be something that'll work with what we need.
I agree. I think we talk to them. I will be nice. I will be cordial. I will give them fruit snacks.
Fruit snacks? You don't give me fruit snacks.
I haven't been giving you fruit snacks? Then I'll look through my bag and pull out a fruit snack and just be like, I'm so sorry.
It's okay. I don't actually like fruit snacks.
Oh, okay. Well,
they're a little weird.
Do you like other snacks?
Yes.
They're mostly the fact that they're missing blood.
Okay, blood snacks. I will get on that. But yes, acolytes. Talk.
So do you think after we go visit the House of the Heart first, since we're here in Matria, and then when we leave the House of the Heart, maybe we go back to Calthax? Because
I think we should go to Calthax first. Because I feel like before we leave this little tropical, peaceful island that we find ourselves on, we might want to go somewhere and grab some weapons in case we get to the House of the Heart and have to fight our way out.
Even if we get the weapons and stuff first, I'm more along the lines let's grab the stuff and go back to House of the Heart, because that could be time sensitive. And then once we finish House of the Heart, then let's go and sit and talk with the kiddos. I'm all for going and looting and grabbing the things that we need. Not looting, picking up your new personal belongings, because fuck that Livka guy. I'm all for that part. But I don't know if we necessarily, in the time that we go back to retrieve a few things, should be spending time conversing with the potentially pain in the ass children who might not want to sit and talk right away. Could eat up more time than we actually have when it comes to meeting with House of the Mind or House of the Heart.
That's fair. Unless we divide our tasks. Sunny seems to be very good at talking to the acolytes. So if the rest of us search for weapons, and perhaps Sunny, if Sunny would like to do that, just get some basic info from the acolytes, like, hey, House of the Heart, what do we need to know about them type of situation. Maybe that would be a good way to kind of kill well, I don't want to say that. I don't think I could say that to Elvira. It's one way to get two. I'm sorry.
You could say it. Kill two birds with one stone. We say something similar. Peck out two eyes with one beak.
I like that one somehow much better than mine. So yeah.
I mean, if you're up to it, Sonny, if you think that you want to talk to them while we gather up things, I mean, we won't be splitting up since we'll be at our newfound home.
I'll talk to anyone.
Okay.
Thank you, Sonny. Your sacrifice is duly noted, and I will give you those blood snacks.
It's fine. I'll find my own.
Well, it sounds like we kind of figure out what we're doing, at least while we're in Matria. So that's good to have at least some sort of itinerary.
Yep.
But my feathers are starting to get a little soggy. So I'm kind of ready to go rest if you guys are.
Yep.
A rest sounds good.
Okay, on that note, we'll rest. After we wake up from a rest, we'll go to Matria. And in the meantime, we'll see everybody back next Thursday with your actual GM, who isn't me. It's Mr. World, who's in Hawaii having fun adventures without us, and I'm very disappointed. He should have put me in his luggage and taken me to Hawaii with him, but he didn't. So when you listen to this, Mr. World, hear my grievances.
It's not like there isn't internet on Hawaii. He could have just dialed in. You would have had an actual session from him at the beach.
That's what I said.